Welcome back to the Nebraska Northern HO Scale YouTube channel. Today I have a how-to video of how to service a Athearn ready-to-roll locomotive. This one happens to be an older GP38-2 in the BNSF H1 scheme. This belongs to a buddy of mine, and he said it's got Econami sound in it. I believe a dual sugar cube speaker, but I could be wrong. And no lights. He's not looking to put lights into it right now. That'll be a completely separate video. But today, we are just going to focus on getting this engine running. So let's go ahead and dive into today's video and see what we can do. I have the locomotive up on my test track here, and I've got it pulled up in my Digitrax DCS51, which at one time did power the layout, but I've since upgraded to NCE. We'll go ahead and apply power. Alright. Nothing to hear that. See if we can get that sound taken care of. Mute the sound. See if we can get that clanking sound or whatever that is taken care of. Okay, so to take this locomotive apart, it's very simple. All you do, you don't have to remove the coupler boxes at all. All you do is you very gently lift up, and the shell will come off. Then what I like to do is take these speaker wires and we'll get them unsoldered. Soldering iron over here. Sorry, I am left-handed, so just bear with me here. And we will isolate the shell, and I was wrong. It's just I'm not sure what kind of type of speaker that is, but I am going to try to convince him to go scale sounds, because scale sound system speakers are the best on the market, in my opinion. Okay, so now we have these shells separated from the frame. Is what we will do now is we'll take the ground wire off and the front power wire, but we'll take the power wire off the truck. And we'll do that for the other side as well. Okay, so now that we got both or all three wires disconnected, we'll turn the frame around here. This gray wire goes to the bottom of the motor. This orange one to the top. And I will be right back. I'm going to quick get this decoder separated from the motor, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, now that we have the decoder separated from the chassis, I didn't realize it, but it was just a piece of foam tape that was sitting on the bottom of this. This is what the decoder looks like out of the frame. So we'll set that aside here with the shell. Now, the next thing to do is we're going to start with the front truck here. To get these worm gear covers off, you just want to take a flathead screwdriver and very gently pry off the worm gear cover. We'll just set that aside here. We'll take this gear off, or this worm gear and drive shaft out. Just lift up on this, set the frame aside, and now we just have the truck. Just sitting out here in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so now that we have the truck disassembled, the truck removed from the chassis, we will very carefully pull these side frames off. It takes a little force to get these out, and we're going to clean all these trucks up and make it look nice again. Okay. So now that we have these side frames off, I like to take... Oh, where is it here? Sorry, my workbench is a disaster. Flathead screwdriver, and we're going to pry up here, 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 and here to get this worm gear cover off. I'm going to be very careful doing this. Look at that. We'll get all this cleaned up for him. And these wheels, just pull out like that. Set all this to the side. Then up on top here is another clip. We'll just pry up on each side. We'll just press up on one side and that clip will come off. Just like that. Then, you want to lay the truck on its side. And then you should be able to remove or disassemble the entire truck. Now, when you take these gears out, a trick that I like to do is I take one of these blue shop rags. I use these out in my lawnmower shop all the time. And I'll just take a rag. I'll fold it in half, and I'm doing that off camera. Fold that in half here. And then we'll take another one. We'll have that out just to wipe these gears off. But when you take these out, a trick that I like to do is set them out in order. So this one will go by the worm gear. This little one. Actually, we'll do this other one here next. This one will go here, and then this little itty bitty one right in the middle here. Now, the next thing I will do is take my paper towel and just wipe out any old grease the best you can. Then we'll do the same thing for the side with the power pickup. It's all cleaned up here. And we'll just take the gears themselves. Just kind of wibble them around. Inside the rag here. That little one clean. Over this last gear here. If I can find the gear here. So now that we got these gears cleaned up, let's go ahead and now move on to the cleaning of these wheels, and I'll show you how to completely disassemble these and gauge them and lube them back up. Okay, so now with these wheels, what you do is you just very gently pull them and take these bearings off, and you'll take this main gear off. This drive axle gear is what I believe it's called. Then separate the bearing from the other wheel. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side. Sometimes these may be a little stubborn. Just be really careful because these gears are made of plastic. Okay. So now, what I'll do is I'll just take this wibble around the bearing here in the paper towel. Kind of get some of that old goop off. And then we'll take the end of the axle here, clean that up. Then we'll do the same thing for this worm gear axle thing. And we'll do this for the other wheel set. Okay. Now that we have the wheel, all the parts to the wheels cleaned up, let's go ahead and start reassembling the wheels. So there's a couple things you will need when it comes to reassembling your wheel sets on locomotives like these Athearns. You'll need some of this label or label 107 with PTFE, plastic compatible oil. Then this label or label 106 grease. Then I just have a second bottle of it. This is my new bottle. This is my almost empty one. And then one important thing you will need is a NMRA gauge, like this. Because what we'll do first is I like to put just it does not take a lot. A really super small dab of oil on these bearings so that way they don't go in dry. Slide that on there. Then we'll put the gear on. Do the same thing for the other wheel here. We'll slide this whole axle assembly together, and then we'll do the... Actually, I forgot to put oil on this one. I can't remember what side it was, so I'll just put oil on both. Do the same thing for this one. Slide that on there. I'll put the axle gear back on. Whoops. Do the same thing for this side. Now that we have our wheels assembled, this is where this gauge comes into play. You'll need the side that says wheels, and you'll want to put these flanges in these grooves, just like this. You see how it's not fitting in there? What you do is you just take one side, you just slowly pull it out or push in until, let's pull this out just a little bit more. You get a snug fit like that. So this wheel set is now done. Let's go ahead and do it to this one. Again, this is a very easy procedure to do. Now that that's engaged, let's go ahead and get the rest of the truck parts over here and we will start assembling this truck. Okay, so now that we have the rest of the truck parts, let's go ahead, put these gears back in the same order they came out. Go ahead and put this other side back on. Then we'll take that small clip, this small one here, and we'll stick that back right here. You'll feel it click and hear it. Now when you put these gears back in, what I like to do is, just so they don't go in dry, take, actually this one may be empty. I think. Yep, this one's empty. Hold on here. Other tube out. We'll just put some grease. Just like that. Down the gears here. Doesn't take much. Then these brass bearings sit down in these grooves on the truck here. I think I just messed up the gauge here on this wheel. Hold on here. Here it is. Okay, here's the gauge. And sure shooting. I actually did. Sometimes you may do that. Which, if you do mess up the gauge, it's not the end of the world. Just take and re-gauge it. Then it'll set in there, just like that. The same thing for the other wheel. Then we'll put the gearbox or the cover back on. Then the truck side frames. Voila, just like that. We have a rebuilt and service truck. I'm going to go ahead and quick do the other truck off camera here, and I'll be right back to reassemble the locomotive. Okay. Excuse me. So now that I got this truck done off camera, here's the truck we did. So we're going to go ahead and install the truck. We just put it in here like that, and be careful of this ground wire. But your locomotive may be different. Then while we're at it, on this worm gear, there's two bearings. There's one here. We'll put a little oil here. And then another bearing here. Put a little oil on it as well. Just like that. And we'll slide this drive shaft. Sometimes it can be tricky. There's my tweezers out. I'll get a pair of tweezers here. We'll just guide this drive shaft right into the flywheel. And then we'll stick it down in there like that. And then we'll grab the worm gear cover, and that just pops on like so. Now we have both trucks back on the locomotive. I did forget this truck as well to lubricate its bearings. Now we will take the decoder and just set it back down. Push it down there like that. Then zoom in here real quick. Now the placement of these wires matters. On the left here, where this orange wire is the motor plus. This wire will go here on the motor minus. So we'll just take a soldering iron here and very carefully, without burning yourself, solder these wires back onto the decoder, just like that. Then we'll take this wire and do the same thing. So we find the end of it here. And we'll take them over here to the other end. We'll solder this wire back onto the truck, and then this black wire will go right here. So now that we have most of the wires soldered, let's go ahead and take this move back over to the test track and we'll make sure we got this thing put together right. Alright, let's go ahead and apply track power. Alright. Reverse. Start forward here. Alright. Now let's go back over to the workstation and get this shell put back on. Alright, so now we will solder the speaker wires back on. So we'll put black to the minus here. And then we'll do red to the positive. Gunk off. Now, to reinstall the shell, that is just as easy as you want to make sure all your wires are tucked away. They are on this side. And we'll readjust these speaker wires here real fast. Now we have the locomotive reassembled. Let's go ahead and take this into the layout room and we'll go ahead and take it for a little run. Okay, so we're now in the layout room and the locomotive is sitting right here. Go ahead, hopping forward. I'll just pull some cars with it. Alright, we'll hook up to that C&W boxcar that's down here. Go ahead and put these cars back. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Just had a minor derailment here. Now it runs a lot smoother. A couple here, and we'll wrap up this video. Alrighty, so this go ahead and wraps up this video of how to service your Athearn ready to roll and or blue box locomotives. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this Nebraska Northern YouTube video, and have a great rest of your day.